I was listening by the window.
You gonna miss this, Joe?
Good evening. I'd like to welcome everybody to the regular City Commission meeting of Tuesday, April 10th. And I'd ask for all of you, call the meeting to order and ask all of you to join in the Pledge of Allegiance. Don't worry about it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I told the commissioner we need a new guy or something. Huh? We need a new guy or something, I told you.
Thank you. Let's start off with approval of the agenda, although I believe we have one revision to the agenda under item number 2 for the budget study work session. We're also going to add the dates for the interviews for the long-range budget committee when we get to that. So, do we have a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So moved. Second?
Any comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of minutes of the regular city commission meeting of March 27th, 2018, and there aren't though. The minutes from the executive session, closed session.
I was told by Carol that you don't, I don't know that you actually approved those.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I'll move that we approve the minutes from our regular meeting of March 27, 2018.
I'll second.
Any comments, questions, changes? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Communications. One communication, any comments? No. No communications are received and filed. A county commissioner or any other elected official is not with us this evening.
Lane
so.
said she'd be here on the 24th.
Okay. We'll move on to public participation. We have some city employees in the room and not much else in the way of public. So seeing none, we'll close public participation and move on to the regular items of business. And the first one is the presentation by charter at the first meeting of April of the annual municipal budget. Are you going to present your last one, or are you going to let Tim present his first?
I don't know. Well, here it is for you. We obviously have to do our study sessions, but it was certainly a lot of work. It gets tougher and tougher as the millage amount goes south. And, so Tim and I had our work cut out for us, but I think that the budget represents a pretty good shot at where we are today, and will give you enough information to allow us to get through these budget study sessions in the next month or so. I think the real important issue here, now that we're at this point, is to look very squarely at what we're going to do with those roadways and sewer lines and some of the big ticket items. There's a lot of small dollar amounts in here. There's some big dollar amounts in here. Look at the goals of each department, I think, is probably the most important thing to do, because that's where you're going to find most of the information. And so I think it's a good budget for this budget cycle, and hopefully we'll get through it in the next couple weeks and maybe month. It's due to be adopted mid-May.
Is it a balanced budget?
All the budgets Huntington Woods adopts are balanced.
Okay. Do we have a motion to accept receipt of the budget?
So moved. Second?
Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We move on to setting some dates to study the budget in depth, as well as set up the interview dates for the Long Range Study Committee, which we have sent out a doodle pool and come up with a couple of dates. Yep. Monday, April 23rd, is it?
Yep.
And Thursday, April 26th. So can we have a motion to set those two dates for the?
Starting at 6:30.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. And so now.
Should we note that the first session is at the library, I believe?
Sure.
Yep.
If people
Monday,
are
April
interested.
23rd will be in the basement of the library, and Thursdays, April 26th will be here at City Hall. Now for a matter of setting a date for a budget study work session. I know we had a difficult time coming up with some interview dates. So one idea we had was to meet early on Tuesday, April 24th, which is our next regularly scheduled city commission meeting. If that would work for everyone, maybe meet at 6 o'clock and go over a brief review, bring in questions if you have any, although I would encourage you to get a hold of Tony and Tim and Amy with any questions you have prior to that. Does that work for everybody?
Is that the 24th you said?
That would be
24th?
Tuesday, the 24th at 6 o'clock.
That's a city commission meeting?
24th.
Yes, it would be a budget study session meeting before the city commission meeting at 7:30.
That works for me.
Fine.
Okay, we have a motion to set that date.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Amy will send out reminders of all those meetings.
Yes, we'll all be together 3 times that week.
All right, moving on to item number 3. The 2018 lawn maintenance project program.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Rocco, our new DPW director, went out for bids, received 2 bids. The low bid was Premier Group, and their references were all very good, so the staff is recommending that you award the bid to Premier Group in the amount of $24,444.
We have a motion.
So move.
So moved? Did someone already so move? Sorry. Second.
Okay, any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. The next 4 agenda items are formal approval of zoning ordinances. We had the first reading at the last city commission. So first one, and most of this is cleanup from our
Zoning rewrite.
zoning rewrite.
With the update to the medical marijuana section because of recent case law. And also the traffic fines, not in the zoning ordinance, but we've increased the handicap violation from $35 to $150.
Mr. Mayor, I'll move that we amend the city code of ordinances and amend the parking fines in chapter 36.
Support.
Any comments or questions?
My mother would be very pleased with the handicap parking violation increase.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item number 5.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion that we approve the amendments to Chapter 40, the zoning Article 5 involving the medical marijuana situation.
Second.
To bring it into conformance with state law.
I'll second that.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item number 6 is to remove the definition of substantial improvement because it's not used anywhere else in the code.
So move.
Second?
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And item number 7 is to clarify the review process for development of a proposed historic district.
Mr. Mayor, I'll move we amend Chapter 40 of the zoning ordinance regarding clarifying the review process for development in a proposed historic district.
A second?
Support.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay, now we have a bid award. Amy, do you want to
Sure.
lead us on that one?
You will recall, in 2015, the city commission wanted to recognize the recreation center in honor of Mayor Ron Gillum, so be formerly known as the Gillum Recreation Center. So we needed a sign to designate it that way, and Tony prepared bids, went out for bids for both the limestone sign that will say Gillum as well as the installation on the recreation center. The low bid for the limestone was Genesee Cut Stone and Marble, and the low bid for the installation was Alba Masonry and Stone. We're recommending approval of both of those bids as well as budget amendments to offset the cost of the sign.
Excuse me.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Okay, any comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Holy cow.
Item number 9.
Wait, I haven't left yet. What are we doing here at 9?
We need to designate Tim Rowland as our street administrator to represent the city of Huntington Woods in transactions with the state transportation department.
So moved.
Second?
There's no
Tim,
public comment on
I'm
that?
assuming you're willing to accept.
I am.
Okay, any comments or questions? Yes.
Yeah, a question not on that one, but on the ICCA representative.
We're working on that.
You're
That's
working on it?
a little
Okay.
more involved.
All right.
But we've talked about that, so we'll certainly have that to you at the next meeting.
That's fine.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. We have 3 sets of reports and minutes. We have a motion to accept and file.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion that we accept and file the reports and minutes from the Library Advisory Board, BART Board, and Parks and Rec Advisory Board.
Second.
Thank you. All right, any comments or questions? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Reports and minutes are received and filed. Warrant number 335, we have a motion to accept subject to full audit.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have a,
Oh. Well, I've got one comment about the warrant. And I don't know if any of you have looked at this a little more carefully, but in the last number of months, because of the dedicated effort of the chap that's sitting to my left, we've managed to change what we do with credit cards significantly in terms of how it's dealt with on the warrant. And if you look on the first page actually, you'll see at the bottom of the page, it says City Visa credit cards. Well, depending on how we classify the credit cards into the general ledger system, it will show up on this warrant or not. And one of the changes that we made is to see to it that, in fact, they show up on the warrant. So we don't have any question about we're very careful about review of this stuff anyway. the auditors review this tirelessly, but the fact of the matter is that you need to see it and it needs to show up here. And because of the way we classify it and the work that Tim has done, now it shows up on the warrant this way. So it's a very good, transparent change for the city and will hold us harmless in the future, so.
Okay. Thank you, Tim.
You're welcome.
Closed session, we have a matter of considering moving into recession and closed meeting immediately following the regular city commission meeting to discuss union negotiations. This will require a motion and a roll call vote, and we will not be reconvening.
So move.
Second?
Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes.
Commissioner,
Yes.
Commissioner.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye. Let the record show the motion was unanimous, and we will reconvene following the close of this meeting in closed session. City managers report.
Sure, I have a couple of announcements from the Recreation Department. The first is that Tri-Community Coalition, along with the cities of Berkeley and Oak Park and Huntington Woods, is offering a health and wellness fair on Sunday, April 22nd from 1 to 4 at the Oak Park Community Center. The event focuses on 7 areas of wellness and features local vendors, practitioners, and service organizations that promote and celebrate healthy living. There will be several engaging demonstrations, classes, speakers, and activities for kids through adults. And they are asking everybody to join them for this exciting and free event. And we'd also like to thank Beaumont for supporting the event. So that is on April 22nd. Then, believe it or not, spring is coming, and registration has begun this week for spring classes. You can
Where
find
is that being held?
Oak Park Community Center.
Okay.
You can find information on classes in the Hometown Herald and register at the Recreation Center or online. And believe it or not, swimming passes are on sale. And if you buy a pass by May the 3rd, you can receive a free 4-visit guest pass. So that's, you can start thinking that far in advance, that's a bargain.
Whoa.
And then the last thing I'd like to add is that this is Severe Weather Awareness Week, and so the tornado sirens are going to be going off tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So just make a note of that, and that's all I have.
Are there any questions for the city manager? Okay, moving on to commissioners' remarks. Commissioner Rozell.
I have no comments, Mr. Mayor.
Commissioner Osmond. Mayor Pro Tem Iverson.
Just one. I just want to let residents know that there will be a series that I'll be hosting with Tri-Community Coalition's Judy Rubin and our Department of Public Safety's Deputy Chief William Cudney. Will be a parenting series to help them navigate the difficult stage with tweens and teens and social media and vaping and drugs and alcohol. And our first event will be at the library on May 9th at 7 o'clock, and there will be more information coming out on the city's website when I get the flyer and on my Facebook. Thank you.
Will that be recorded?
I don't believe so. We're gonna do a series. It'll be kind of a revolving series over the years.
It would be
So-
interesting if it was. Those
Yes.
issues are so major.
They are. Well, we'll maybe look into seeing if we can do that.
Commissioner Jenks.
2 things. SEMCOG is giving the city a Pewabic title. And what this is recognition that we were a charter founding member of SEMCOG. And the second thing is that I fell asleep because of a time zone difference and lack of adjustment, so I missed the last meeting. I did discover the how the city responds. The next day at around 2:33 in the afternoon, 4 cars from Public Safety showed up at my house knocking at the front door or the back door. it would have been a little bit late from 7:30 the previous night, but it was extremely exciting to see public safety there and in full force, because if there had been a real emergency, I would have felt very, very comfortable with that response. The other thing is approximately 12 years ago, I called public safety when my wife was dying, and did experience, I think within less than 2 minutes, a professional response, and they were there at the point between immediate care and when the ambulance showed up. So make sure you use them, but I would strongly suggest you don't delay 18 to 20 hours, because it's likely that the person would be dead, and public safety, with all their skills, might not be able to save someone.
Well,
Thank
your
you.
wife said she couldn't find the number for 911.
My wife was in the Philippines, thank you.
Nice try.
It wouldn't have worked anyway. She was.
All right, thank you, Commissioner. I have no comments, so with that, we'll adjourn the meeting and reconvene in a couple of minutes in closed session.